All right, here we are making another video. We're doing a true do-it-yourself countertops. As you can see, my wife and I are down in our basement, kind of showing you that you can do it yourself, and this is what you got to do, the conditions you need to be in, and how it's going to turn out. Um, we're going to do some stone coat countertop products. We're going to do a white Carrara marble on this countertop that I made. It's going to go on a kitchen island that we've made for her. Just to kind of give you all a little bit of feedback too, we've set up down here in the basement. It's roughly about 70, 72 degrees down here. It's roughly about the temperature you want to be at, between 60 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got plastic down on the floor. I suggest a 0.7 to a 1 mil thickness on your plastic. Do not use a paper. Their product will soak in and go through that paper and down onto your floor. All right, so I believe that we're going to pause for a second. We're going to move out to the garage. We're going to go ahead and mix our epoxies, and we're going to get it on. We're going to do some white Carrara marble. All right, guys, so we're out here in the garage. We're about to get our epoxy mixed up. I'm going to be a little safe, and we'll get a little pair of gloves on. So on their website, and once again, I'll just say I'm not affiliated with them or anything. This is just a product that I decided to use. It worked very well for another countertop that we already did upstairs. But on their website, they have calculations for you to put in your length and width that will basically tell you how much you need to mix up. A countertop this size, I just want to make sure I've got plenty to work with. So we're actually going to mix up 1 gallon of product. Okay, so 2 parts. You got part A, part B. Part A is your resin, your epoxy. Part B is your hardener. We actually had these sitting inside, so they are to temp. We always want to pour a hardener first. So we're doing a white Carrara, which is a 2-part. In our small cup, we're just going to mix up just a little bit for our black metallic. And then in this big one, this is our main color of the white. This is what's going to have our white metallic in it. So I'm basically going to do, 4 quarts in a gallon. So we'll start right here, and I'm just going to pour straight up all the way till I hit that 2-quart mark. Once again, this is not me. This is just going based on the training and the videos that I've seen. That they always do the hardener first. The only thing I can think of is because it is a little bit more thinner. So the epoxy, with it being thicker, I believe it's easy to potentially over pour because it kind of builds up in the center and then slowly works its way to your edge. So this here, we're going to go small. I'm just going to pour up to number 2, which is like 2 fluid ounces. Okay. And now my epoxy here. So this is real thick. Almost looks like molasses coming out. And we're going to go all the way up to 4 quarts. So that'll be our full gallon. And this might be too much. I did go a little bit, probably a couple of cubic feet bigger than what I actually needed to. But like I said, I just wanted to make sure that I had plenty. This is going on the island. This is going to be pretty much like the centerpiece of the kitchen. So I definitely want to make sure that I've got plenty of product. All right, there. Then I'm just going to match it. I went up to 2 on this one. So it looks like we're just going to have a perfect amount. going to take just a second to probably pour out. And once again, I knew that I had enough. It looks like, you know, seems like I'm a little shy, but I knew how much I used on that last one. So, and it was a little bit under a gallon. So I knew that I was going to have plenty left. All right, so we are going to now just go ahead and take our black metallic. It's a powdered metallic. You don't really need much for this at all. And if it's not enough, you can always add more. I'm just doing a couple little dabs down in there. So again, we're just going to use that as our accent. Now our white, we're going to go a little bit heavier on this one. We're going to do probably a good spoonful. Do a little bit extra in that one. Nice spoonful in there. I used about 3/4 of a spoon last time. We mixed up about half this much, so we'll kind of eyeball it. It's going to be gorgeous anyway. Once we mix it, if it's not enough, then we can always mix more. So we're just going to take a paint stick real quick. We're going to work this black. You make sure that you stir it for a couple minutes. Make sure you get it around your edges too to get any that excess color. As you can see too, I mean it's real nice. Still very workable. It's not like a paste. You don't want it to be pasty. One of the first little test pieces we did that we're going to use for trevets, I added too much of the black. It was very pasty. So you can see it's a little bit light. I'm going to add just a little bit more black to that. Now, also keep in mind, you know, you've got plenty of time. I always feel like I need to rush to get through this. You've got 45 minutes of work time with this. That's a whole lot of time. And it stays very, very workable for quite a while. While I'm sitting here mixing this, you know, we've got a couple other tools we're going to use today. Some just short 2-inch brushes. That's what we'll use during the chopping process. You'll see more of that, and we'll talk more about that later. Yeah, that's got the color I want now. It's a little bit less translucent than what it was. It's more of that black in there. Okay, now for this guy, because I got epoxy on my hands, I'm gonna take these gloves off. We'll grab our drill. We'll put our paint mixer in here. Now make sure that you are not, look at that color. It's just crazy how this goes. You'll make sure that you're not hitting the bottom. You're not scrubbing the edges. I know you can't see it in the camera, but if you could see it, there's just metallics floating all in the air right now from what was on there. Once again, you know, try to stay away from your edges. If you want to go towards the bottom, just don't hit the bottom. Again, they say there's a possibility that you could always, you know, scrape a little plastic or something off of the cup. I'm sure that's probably a rarity, but I guess it could happen. If you can see that color, it just looks, it's unbelievable. It's just amazing, the metallics and the pearls and what that powder does. We definitely want to make sure that we're getting it nice and mixed. We don't want any clumps of those metallics or anything in there. All right, we're going to pause just for, not pause, but I'm going to stop that for a second, reach down here, I'm going to grab a paint stick. Same thing with that black. I just want to work my edge all the way around just to make sure that there's no powders, nothing like that. Okay. I've got an extra cup here. Just put that to the side. I'm gonna mix this up for about 10 more seconds probably, and we're gonna be good to go. So we are going to we're going to pause again. We're going to get set back up into the basement. We'll bring all of our product and our tools in there, and we're going to pour.